off your back. That's right. Get them off your back. Go to my webpage, DougStewartShow.com, and click on their banner link, 911 Tax Relief, and get Uncle Sam off your back. When we went to the break, I was talking, or in the last segment, we were talking a little bit about what's really going on in Michigan, and thanks for the tweet from Chris Camp. He says, Doug, they marched because he was hated before all this started. And we're talking about the athletic director at Michigan, Brandon. He's changed student ticket pricing in seats 3 times. Student tickets have gone from $21,000 to $13,000 under him. And that's the tweet I was referring to a little bit earlier. And we're talking about the situation at Michigan. They aren't really protesting because of the quarterback, Morris, getting hurt, or the fact that they didn't treat the concussion symptoms properly. The team, they're taking this opportunity to protest something that they didn't like beforehand, which is kind of ass backwards. It really shouldn't affect anything going on with Brady Hoke, even though Brady Hoke is dead man walking. There's no way he's going to be the coach of this team next year based on what he's done. But, yeah, this is a totally separate argument when you're talking about what's going on at the University of Michigan. So if you got somebody that's passionate about Michigan football, a student that's passionate about Michigan football, have them call into the show. We're trying to set up a call with the barber there on campus at the University of Michigan, because you can kind of make it kind of like into a barbershop roll call, something that we do around here all the time. But I'd like to talk to somebody in Michigan and give me the vibe and the feel, because what you hear from somebody that's there with boots on the ground can give us a better perspective, because this is really like the number one story trending in sports is what's going on at the University of Michigan, which is kind of crazy to me. It's kind of ridiculous that so much is being made of Brady Hoke and how bad he's been, and that it can outshine other stories in sports. Brady Hoke is going to get fired, and this story, what happened with the quarterback this past weekend, has nothing to do with the athletic director. It's absolutely ridiculous to me. But if we could talk to somebody there, I think that would be good stuff. All right, 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. A frustrated Mark Davis said he stands behind general manager Reggie McKenzie and new interim head coach Tony Spreaker as the Oakland Raiders try to bounce back from a 0-4 start and the firing of Coach Dennis Allen. However, Al's little boy said it's imperative that the Raiders improve. Yes, that's almost like an oxymoron. The Raiders improving over the last decade, that's just crazy. Davis says it was McKenzie's decision to fire Allen and that he agreed. McKenzie chose Allen in 2012 after Mark Davis made McKenzie the primary decision maker of the franchise in the first move after the death of his father, Al Davis, in November of 2011. Dennis Allen, was 8-28 as the Raiders head coach. I don't know if he's even getting any better, because Tony Spreaker sucks too. Yes, thus far. He sucked thus far as a head coach in the NFL. And I say that because a lot of times you get a second opportunity and you get better. You will improve yourself, i.e. Bill Belichick. If you know Belichick's history, he was a horrible coach his first time out as head coach of the Cleveland Browns, I believe it was. And now look at him. He's one of the greatest coaches of all time. So you can change some things, make some adjustments, and do better. I'm not saying coaches shouldn't get another chance, but Tony Spreaker's record at this point as being the Dolphins head coach is miserable. He was the head coach of the Dolphins back in 2008. The teams he's been involved with had just one season of 500 or better. The past 6 seasons, his teams have finished below 500 every year. Yes, 2008, the Dolphins were 11-5, and everybody was all high on Tony Spreaker. And then subsequently after that, in 2009, 7-9, 2010, 7-9 again, and then 2011, 4-9, 2012, 6-10, and he was reduced to offensive coordinator at that point, and assistant head coach with the Raiders in 2013 and 2014. So pretty much anybody that Tony Spreaker, anything he touches turns to doo-doo. Not turns to gold, but turns to doo-doo. And so we'll see if he learns from his mistakes in the past and rights some of his wrongs. and gets the Raiders going. Now, I adopted the Raiders. I became a fan of the Raiders like 4 or 5 years ago. We had this big thing on the show where, and if you don't know the backstory, I never rooted for a particular team in my life in the NFL. And I don't know why it was. Everybody in their mama that grew up around me in the state of South Carolina, I mentioned this like a week ago, they were either Cowboy fans, because I grew up in the 70s, so it makes sense. They were either Cowboy fans or Steeler fans. But I never proclaimed one of those teams as my team, or either the Redskins or the Eagles or even the Falcons. We never saw Falcons games on TV back when I was growing up. They never show no damn Falcons. Are you kidding me? It was exclusively CBS, and it was the Cowboys, and it was the Redskins. But I never proclaimed this is one of my team and got one of their starter jackets and one of their T-shirts or whatever, or one of their hats. I never did that. So a couple of years ago, we had this bit where I picked the team, and the reason I chose the Raiders is because I'm a big fan of Al Davis. All right, I'm a huge fan of Al Davis. God bless the dead, and his trailblazing attitude, and the fact that he was a maverick, and he didn't take no mess from anybody, and he fought his co-owners in the NFL. So I like that attitude, and I respected the black hole and Raiders fans, some of the craziest fans in sports. So I kind of adopted the Raiders. I'm still a Falcon fan, first and foremost. Don't get that twisted. I'm a Falcon fan, but I also said that I was going to throw some support behind the Raiders. And I tell you what, if the Raiders are good, football is better. It's as simple as that. If the Raiders are good, football is better. And I don't think anybody can deny that with the great history and the legacy of the Raiders organization and all the big names and the Super Bowls. And you can just go run down the list offensively and defensively in the classic uniforms that hadn't changed one iota in 40 years. Yes. So if the Raiders are good, then football is better. Just like, in baseball, if the Yankees are good. I remember that stretch that Don Mattingly had with the Yankees, and they couldn't win a World Series. He was a fantastic player, but the Yankees didn't win any World Series. So baseball, in my opinion, was kind of down as far as the talk and the fervor for baseball. Same thing with the Lakers. You can be a Laker hater all you want, but Lakers in the conversation is good for the sport. It is, because there's as many people that hate the Lakers as love them. So you want these historical great teams to do well. You do. Totally. You do. So I'd like to see Sperano turn these things around, this situation around. It's going to be tough, though, because the draft picks over the last couple of years are horrid. The coaching has been horrid. Everybody that they picked up to run that team has just been terrible. So, hopefully the Raiders can turn things around. I'm rooting for them. Golly, give Al's soul some peace, would you? And Al started the downfall or the decline of the Raiders. He did. He wouldn't probably work with all his faculties before he kicked the bucket. But damn it, Mark, do your dad proud up in heaven and turn this thing around, man. Just turn it around. If you're a Raiders fan, what do you think about what's going on with the team? Should Reggie McKenzie be out? And a lot of people are saying that Reggie McKenzie, he hired Dennis Allen. That was his first big move when he became the GM. Damn it, he should go too. And I'm not mad at people for saying that. I'm not mad, okay? But clearly, if they went through the interview process and talked to several candidates and they came up with Reggie McKenzie, I'm okay with giving him another opportunity to get this right. Obviously, there's something about him and his character and the things that he's done with that organization that they feel like that he's the man for the job right now. So I'm okay with that. And he probably understands the game. Reggie McKenzie's been around football forever. And you are listening to the Doug Stewart Show. He's been around football forever. He knows that it's all about winning. And if he doesn't get this thing corrected real fast, he'll be out on his ass. That kind of rhymed just now. Yes. So he's going to have to take care of it. He's going to have to turn this thing around, or he'll be gone too. And that's something that that's something that I hope happens, man. Really. And you talk about, the Raiders are bad and it's a laughing matter and it's all jokey. That's not a laughing matter, man. To watch this team struggle the way that they have pretty much ever since John Gruden left. And I saw a conversation they had with him this morning. I believe it was on Mike and Mike. I have that stuff playing in the background. And so they talked to Gruden. He, obviously whenever a coaching job comes about and there's an interesting scenario like this situation with the Raiders needing a head coach and John Gruden being available, his name's going to come up. So his name, it came up that, made John Gruden take this job with the Oakland Raiders. And he's not. He's not going to take it. He came out today and said, no, he's fine doing what he does and hosting Michigan State, hosting Monday Night Football. So he's good. He's good to go. All right. So we'll see where the Raiders go for their head coach. We'll see if Tony Sperano can keep the job and get the interim tag taken off his title and get things turned around. All right. That's what we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Raiders. All right. Up next on the Doug Stewart Show. And you are listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the funnest show on turf, the realest, trillest show on turf. You better believe that. And we having a lot of fun. Email your boy, Doug at thedougstewartshow.com. You can also call me, 404-382-0338. We got some callers on the line. If you can hold, please do. If not, I think my producer will put you on hold, and we'll take your call coming back from the break. Somebody wants to talk about what's going on at the University of Michigan. Actually, it looks like it's a Michigan fan, a Michigan hater. It's actually a Michigan State fan, so that should be kind of fun. We'll do that. We'll grab your calls. Make sure that you tell people about the show. Got to hammer that home. Tell people about the show. Tell them about the most fun, the most lively, the most interactive show online. Sports talk show online. That's right. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. So you think you're a fantasy whiz, huh? Well, prove it and make some nice scratch at the same time. Scratch is money. What do you know about FanDuel? FanDuel packs the thrill of a whole season in 1 week. Play in 1 week fantasy football leagues for free money with immediate cash payouts. The money is real with no season-long commitment. That's huge because when your team starts to suck, you don't want to play no more. It's no more fun. Trade everybody. I've been there. You play win and how much you want. Deposit now and FanDuel will match it up to $200. Use the promo code COOLER, that's COOLER, and take advantage of free loot to get your game on. FanDuel, where every week is a new season. The Doug Stewart Show is off and running. But just like every company, we need sponsors. Would yours like to work with one of the livest, most dynamic, and recognized sports talk dudes in America? By the way, I'm talking about myself. Getting in on the ground floor? Well, call us at 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com and let's do business. From the smallest company in Atlanta to the biggest brands nationally and worldwide, shawty, people know me and the Stews brand in these streets. Holla at your boy. Once again, the number is 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you so they can get you the best possible settlements or solutions to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've also helped thousands of people, thousands, solve their tax problems. So don't play around. Click on their link on my website, thedougstewartshow.com, and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with our uncle. You know, Uncle Sam.
All meat, no fluff. The Doug Stewart Show.
That's right. All meat. No fluff, no gristle. None of that bad stuff. No fat. It's the real deal. It's the meat. It's the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining you, folk. I really do appreciate it, man. Continue to tell people about the most fun, most interactive, the livest show online when we talk about these sports, we talk about these issues. A little bit later, man, I got a couple little entertainment stories I'm going to throw out at you, man. Ben Affleck's in the news. The curtain rod lady is in the news. Donald Trump saying some crazy things. Blackish.